Hey kids, no need to be afraid of word problems. I'm going to teach you some strategies to help you be a successful problem solver.
Pump up the volume, pump up the classroom. Everybody sucking up skills like a vacuum. Pump up the volume, pump up the classroom. Everybody sucking up skills like a vacuum. Pump up the volume, pump up the classroom.
Work backward.
What is it?
It's a problem-solving strategy when you are given the end result or final answer, but are missing one of the pieces of original information.
What isn't it?
We're not solving the problem in the usual sequence because we're given the end result and we have to find something that's missing from the beginning or the middle of the puzzle.
Example.
I'm thinking of a number. When I multiply the number by 3, subtract 25, and divide by 5, I get 10. What is the number?
Tips and reminders.
Working backward is a real-life strategy. For example, if you ever lose something, you usually have to go backward and retrace your steps. Often you will use the inverse of the operation they are saying, since you're working backward. Also, you always want to start with the last step first and move towards the first step.
If you take a look at our example, you'll notice that we started with our last piece of information and then we used the inverse operation.
Now you watch as we model one for you.
Jan withdrew some cash from the bank to buy groceries. She used half the money to buy fruits and vegetables. From the money she had left, she spent $20 for a fresh turkey. She had $10 left when she got home. How much cash did Jan withdraw?
First, let's take a second to draw our problem-solving quadrant.
Now we're going to go back, read the question again, and this time we're going to look for what we need to answer. Jan withdrew some cash from the bank to buy groceries. She used half the money to buy fruits and vegetables. From the money she had left, she spent $20 for a fresh turkey. She had $10 left when she got home. How much cash did she withdraw? So that is going to be my question. How much cash did Jan withdraw? And I know withdraw means to take out. So let's go back to our problem-solving grid, and we're going to put it into our own words. How much money did Jan take out of the bank?
Let's go back to the problem again, and this time let's read through looking for facts.
Jan withdrew some cash from the bank to buy groceries. She used half the money to buy fruits and vegetables. Oh, that sounds important. We better highlight that as an important fact. Okay, let's keep going. From the money she had left, she spent $20 for a fresh turkey. Also important. We'll highlight it. And we will continue. She had $10 left when she got home. And that will be my last fact. Let's highlight it. And let's go back to the problem-solving grid. And let's put it on our facts portion.
Let's take a look at our plan. We know that we're going to work backwards because in this problem they've given us the amount she ended up with, but we're missing what she started with. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the $10 she ended up with and work backward by doing the opposite of each step.
Okay, it's time to solve the problem.
Since this is a work backwards problem, we're going to start with what information they gave us at the end. And in this problem, it told us that Jan had $10 cash left after her shopping trip. That means that after she spent all the money in the store, she walked home with $10. We're going to need to work backwards to find out what she spent all of her money on. We're going to need to do the inverse operation, starting with adding back the cost of the turkey, which was $20.
Now let's add the fruits and vegetables. And while we don't know how much she actually spent on that, we do know it was half of the total cost.
Now, if the cost of the fruits and veggies was half of the total, then that means that the cash she had left plus the cost of the turkey represented the other half of the total. Now, if she had $10 cash left at the end of her trip, plus she spent $20 on turkey, that means that that part represented $30. So that $30 must be half of the total that she started with.
So now we know that the fruits and vegetables equals $30. And really that was the last thing she spent money on, so all we have to do now is add up 10 plus 20 plus 30 to get how much money she started with, which is $60 total. She took out $60 from the bank. So let's go back to our quadrant and let's fill it in. Jan withdrew $60 from the bank.
Now it's your turn to try one with your problem-solving grid. You can hit pause and replay as needed.
Patty bought hot dogs and shakes for herself and her 3 sisters. The hot dogs cost $1.25 each, and the shakes cost $1.50 each. She bought 1 hot dog for each of them, but they agreed to share the shakes. Patty paid with a $10 bill and got $2 back in change. How many shakes did she buy?
Okay, get out your whiteboards, and you're going to want to pause here so you can make your problem-solving quadrant.
Now, go ahead and pause again here, reread the question a few times while you fill out your quadrant. If you need a hint, go ahead and advance and we'll give you a hint on the next slide.
Okay, go ahead and hit pause here. Give yourself some time to work. If you need some help, go ahead and hit the play button for another hint.
Go ahead and pause here while you finish working. If you still find yourself stuck, we've given you another little hint coming up next.
And this is your last hint. We've listed out the facts. Go ahead and hit pause again and finish up your work. And then when you're done, you can hit play and check your work against ours. Okay, hopefully by now you are done and it's time to check your answer.
Here's what we did with this problem. We started with the $10 that she started with, minus the change, which was $2, to find out that she spent a total of $8. Now, the problem said that she bought hot dogs for herself and her 3 sisters. So we found out that she spent $5 on hot dogs plus X on shakes. We're not sure how much she spent on shakes, but we know that the total is going to add up to $8. So that should tell us that now we know that she spent $3 on shakes. We know that the shakes cost $1.50 each. So we know now that she bought 2 shakes. Go ahead and take a second, pause here while you look at our quadrant and check it against your own work. This strategy of work backward is a tool to add to your tool belt to help you solve math word problems.
Pump up the volume, pump up the classroom.